Welcome to Stay at Home Dads, a podcast.
With your hosts, Drew and Justin, a place where we talk about a lot of guy stuff.
And a little bit of dad stuff too. So kick back, relax, and let's talk.
All right, dudes. So we've got to talk about Mortal Kombat 2021, the movie that just dropped. Like, what was that? Like not even a week ago?
Yeah, just a few days ago. I mean, well, depending on when this airs, yes. For us, it just recently popped up on HBO Max. So,
and I
finally watched it. Watched it. So
yes, and you've got HBO Max, right? Obviously.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And all right. So, okay.
What's your thoughts, Drew? You've got thoughts. I know you do. What's your thoughts on this?
Okay, so first off, I just have to start out by saying I actually enjoyed 1995's Mortal Kombat. Like what was I, like 15 when that came out? And like I was a super impressionable age. Like I love that movie. I know that the special effects were bad. They were bad even back then, but I still really enjoyed that movie. So I'm coming into like 2021 with like that like movie still like that was like the definitive
in your memory, yeah.
Mortal Kombat movie for me. What about you? Did you? I can't remember. I thought I asked you like if you've seen Mortal Kombat 1995.
I know I probably have. It was more of like a campy, arcadey kind of style, I feel like, but I don't have a lot of memories of it. I should go back. I imagine it's on some streaming service at this point. I should go back and watch it just for the nostalgia factor, especially since I just watched this new one. Yeah. And just kind of see what I think. But I have seen it. I just don't really have a lot of memories of it.
Well, you know what would be fun is if we did like a comparison video, but like for this one, obviously, like let's just talk about, because you haven't like been familiar with 1995s. Let's just talk about 2021. But I think it would be fun to like do a comparison movie kind of.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to maybe we'll both watch the 95 version
for homework for next.
We'll do
a
little
week.
Wrap up, and we'll do another show, in a week or so, and talk about that one, and then we can compare. Perfect. New versus old. So
perfect. Okay, so that out of the way, my initial response was, okay, right out the gate. Okay, so spoiler alert, if you haven't seen this movie yet, just stop watching now because we're gonna like really break this down. All right?
Yeah, no, I was like, how are we gonna talk about this and not spoil it for anybody? But it's like
because I freaking hate spoilers. And like if you haven't seen it though, please just stop now. Just shut it off. All right. So
shut it off. Watch the movie and then come back and watch our episode. So all right, let's do that.
So for those that have seen it, let's talk about this. Started out amazing. That opening scene with Scorpion and Sub-Zero, where Scorpion like finds his wife and his son murdered by Sub-Zero, and like he like takes his like little like harpoon like spear thing and just freaking like murders like 15 dudes. Oh my god, dude, that was like, oh my god, that was so good. Like I was like, yes, this movie's gonna be awesome. But then no, like it kind of starts to fizzle, and like they definitely started with their best foot forward because that was such an iconic, like epic opening scene. I was like, oh my god, like this is a good movie.
Yeah, and it shows like these two adversaries, like these two,
oh my god,
mortal enemies.
Oh, it's so good.
Right away off the bat, yeah.
Oh, so good. And like I'm a sucker for like samurai kind of shit, and like it definitely felt like this kind of like old school like samurai showdown.
Yeah, it was good.
Let me just
I don't know, I don't necessarily understand, like, just to get off with not complaining, but like they didn't really get into why Sub-Zero was trying to wipe out his family line.
Yeah.
Like they didn't really talk about that. I don't know if that's maybe not important. Maybe a quote unquote movie. What the hell are they called? An analyst? No, a critic. Maybe a critic could be like, well, they don't have to talk about that, dude. It's just impaired, whatever. But so I didn't understand like that part.
Well, all you have to understand, like I felt like, was that they were like warring clans. Like it seemed to me like Sub-Zero was like this Chinese clan.
Makes sense, yeah.
And the Scorpion character was like this like Japanese clan. And like for whatever reason, like they didn't like each other. And like that's all I needed to know. I'm sure like if you read like, is there more?
The same with like books versus movies. Like there's probably a little more to it. So I'm probably thinking too much into that.
I don't know if there is like Mortal Kombat like comic books or something. Like I've never understood it like on a deeper level than just they were like two like opposing like ninja clans, and like that's
Okay.
all I've ever needed to know about them. So,
Well, good. Thanks for clearing that up for me.
but yeah, so I would just say like overall, my initial reaction was I was disappointed with it, but I will say it's weird because I have like this weird like love-hate relationship with it where there were some like truly epic moments and truly epic like kind of things that were presented in this movie that I thought were like never been seen before, very like iconic, very outstanding. That being said, I don't feel like they truly fleshed out a lot of the characters that really needed to be fleshed out to where like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care about a lot of these fuckers. I was like, I don't like who okay, so like who are these people? Like why should I care?
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I agree. You brought that up to me before I watched the movie, and you
mhm.
were like, "Oh, they really didn't develop characters." So then I went into it kind of having that in the back of my mind, and
Yeah.
then I was like, "Yeah, you're right. Like, who are these people? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, so it goes from like that opening scene, and then it
Mhm.
flashes forward
Yeah.
to Cole, right? Like fighting in the ring.
Yeah.
And I guess it's implied that Cole, well, no, it's not implied because initially, like, and that's just maybe my dumb, stupid brain because I was like, is he the baby? But that was like 1,000 years
that's
ago. Like,
that's
I don't understand.
dude,
Like,
that's
who?
so confusing because that's exactly what I thought at first. I was like, okay, it's got to be like the baby, but no, like the
Yeah,
time isn't right. It's like his great baby grandbaby,
right.
like like
And then later in the film, they show the guy. What's the guy's name that does the fire with his hands, right?
Liu Kang. Liu Kang.
Yeah. So he does fire with his hands. But then in the opening scene, when Scorpion essentially quote unquote dies,
Yeah.
he like starts on fire. So then when I saw Liu Kang with the fire hands, I was like, is
Oh,
that the baby?
yeah.
So then I got like super like dumb confused and I felt like an idiot. But
Okay,
yeah.
so here's what I want to say. Um, okay, first off, Mortal Kombat has such a rich array of characters. Like there are so many amazing characters. Why in God's name did they feel like it was necessary to create this brand new dude, Cole Young, this MMA
Mhm.
fighter? Like
Right.
never been seen in the game, not
Right.
anything to do with like the lore of Mortal Kombat. Like that was
Yeah.
so stupid. So I was like, okay, well maybe this is gonna be like this cool like reincarnation like arc where maybe Cole is gonna be like a reincarnated Scorpion, and like
Right.
because he's the bloodline. And then at one point, Raiden like gives Cole like, here is your ancestors like
The knife or
spear, yeah,
whatever.
the knife spear thing. He's like, this is your ancestors blood thing, and like he gives it to him. I'm like, oh yeah, you're like gonna find out your power is like Scorpion's power. No,
Yeah.
no, he's like this got this weird like armor
He's got a suit. What is this
suit.
suit? And
Like
then
what?
he sometimes he glows like yellow. I don't know
Yeah,
what's his power because he's still got his ass kicked like throughout the whole movie.
I feel like it was supposed to represent like it absorbed energy or something, but like it was very confusing because he get like beat up and like he start glowing. He's like, and then like he like start like fighting with this like weird like whatever those freaking block things are that had like a
Yeah.
blade on one, and like I don't know what they were, but no,
So I don't
dude.
know. Like I don't know if they left it open because they clearly left it open for a sequel. So I don't know if they left it open for him to really come into his powers.
Yeah.
Not like because I feel like he kind of started showing. So is he maybe going to get that Scorpion family lineage fire ability or something?
I don't think
I don't know.
so. I don't think so. I think like we saw what his power is, and I don't get why like he's even like I said, I don't get why he was even created for like the franchise because
Right.
you're not even from the game. Like and the game's got like a ton of characters that are amazing already. So
And then like another point too is like they could have okay, so they could have gone to Cole, shown him, and then when we saw Jax and Sonya,
yeah.
like I feel like they just plopped them in there,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
here's some characters, and then
Yeah.
they were talking. Those characters are talking about like, oh yeah, when Jax fought this other person in South
Mm-hmm.
America, blah
Yeah.
blah blah. Why wasn't there a flashback there
Thank
to
you.
like to for 10 minutes of showing them and letting me like get to know these characters and letting me like feel for them and
Thank
root
you.
for them, and how he got his marking, and you know what I mean? Like, where was that? That was
They
gone, and it
they
pissed me off.
thank you. So they showed like a picture of Sonya and Jax in fatigues, like serving in the military together. And
Mm,
I would have killed for like just one little scene of them actually like in some kind of a combat scene together.
right.
Just anything to give me some more background on them, to like show me their connection. The thing that this movie lacked was it only really showed background on Scorpion. And I want backstories. Just give me some flashbacks. I don't care if it's
Right.
like 15 seconds on all these amazing characters. I just want to see like what they were like in life. Like, who are they? Why do I
I
care
know. I
about,
think
you know?
they lost. Like, I feel like they lost a good, spot right there. They could have like really filled people in, and they
Yeah.
could have just gone to like when they picked up the army picture, and they're looking at
Yeah.
this army picture.
Yeah.
They could have just immediately like zoomed into it and gone to a flashback of them being
Yes.
mercenaries, and
Yeah.
then showing how he gets his marking,
Mm-hmm.
and showing their companionship and their camaraderie, and
Mm-hmm.
and how badass they were, and they just didn't do it, and it's kind
Yeah.
of they
Yeah.
kind of fell flat there. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now I
How
will
about
say,
what'd you think of Kato? Kano.
Kano, he was like a breath of fresh air. Like, even though I hate the character he was like the only comic relief. He was the only
Yeah.
character that seemed real.
Right.
Like, he actually seemed like he was from a real, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, like his attitude and personality of like don't give a crap attitude. Yeah.
he was three-dimensional. Like, he actually seemed like fully realized. Every other character was just kind of like, I'm Sonya Blade. I used to be a military badass. Like, okay, well, show us. Like,
Right.
like, anyway, so
And
Kano
then
was,
and then another thing too. Sorry.
no, go
Another
for it.
thing too is when Sonya goes
Yeah.
to get her mark, quote unquote, she just goes back to Kano.
Yeah.
Instead, I really wanted her to fight the chick with the teeth, man. I thought that would have been good. Like, because I felt like they gave some glances within the movie, like the
Yeah.
two women
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
glances like it's going to be like this
Cat
super
fight.
woman fight scene,
Yeah.
and it didn't happen. So that I was
Yeah.
disappointed there as well.
Well,
Sorry, go
okay.
ahead about
Okay.
Kano.
So while we're on the topic of disappointment, do you realize we didn't even make it to the tournament? No, we didn't even
Oh,
make
yeah.
it to the goddamn tournament. You know what happened? What's his name? Shang Tsung was like, we're going to stop before the tournament even starts. Like, we're going to like just murder everybody that's like, like,
So you're
basically.
gonna cheat.
Yeah. And I apologize if that impression was like a little like horrible, but all I'm trying to say was they basically were like, we're not going to let this tournament happen. We're just going to kill your people before they can even fight. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, well, this is Mortal Kombat. Like, isn't it kind of about getting to the tournament? Like, that's where
Isn't that the
stakes
title?
are.
Like
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat? Isn't that the?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I don't know, dude. I will say one thing that this movie did deliver on was the fatalities and like the gore, because back in '95, I'm not sure. Well, you said you don't really remember it. It was like a PG-13, so there was like not a drop of blood in
Right.
Mortal Kombat. This one had like a buzzsaw hat that like split that Batgirl in half. Like, it was brutal.
Jax with the dude.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Jax did a finisher where he like claps his hands, like explodes the dude's head.
That was pretty brutal to watch.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
even Cole Young fought Goro and like sliced his hand off and like stabbed him through like his eye with his like little like weird like weapon thing. So
Yeah. That was good though. I like that. I like that fight scene. And I felt like he did better fighting in that fight scene than he did fighting Sub-Zero. Like,
exactly.
he did so badass, like fighting Mr. Forearms, that okay, like, you're ready. And then he just his abilities, and his talent, I just don't seem like it just doesn't seem like it really came into full effect.
Yeah.
And that was kind of disappointing. I really wanted to see him, like you said, like absorb Scorpion or whatever, or do something unique and cool, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, so basically the only character that I have to say that I even cared about was Scorpion, and that's because like they show his backstory of where he lost his family. And
Right.
that brings us full circle back to what I was talking about, where if you're not teaching us about like these characters like stories, like, why are we going to care? And these characters, like, they're not Godzilla and King Kong. They're not monsters. They actually deserve a backstory. They
Right.
deserve to have us become attached to them, and they matter. You know what I'm saying? So I will say though, I couldn't take my eyes off of it, even though I'm hating on it like 50%. I enjoyed a large majority of it.
Me too.
Like guilty.
I did too.
So it's like this weird thing where I was like, I know this is crap. I know this could be better, but am I entertained?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was entertained. And
do you think it would have been better with different characters, different actors and actresses playing the people? Because sometimes when I watch movies, I kind of overanalyze at times, and I'm like, oh, that line delivery wasn't very, and I'm not an actor or I'm not a critic or anything, but like I feel like that armchair guy that's like,
yeah,
well, that you didn't deliver that line, or why would that character say that? Like stupid stuff like that, you know? And I'm like wondering, like, I wonder if it would have been better if Kano was played by like Jason Statham or something, like, I don't know, you know, or who knows, like anybody, but I always kind of wonder, like, or if Cole was played by Keanu Reeves or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, would it be better?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I will say that Cole still, I feel like, was an unnecessary character. I don't care who played him. I don't think it should have been there. But I do agree. I felt like he was very two-dimensional. I felt like he was very boring. I felt like he wasn't like interesting at all. So maybe a better actor might have done better, but at the same time, why even create him? Because Mortal Kombat has a roster of like characters that are like incredible.
Oh yeah, the game is like, I mean, how many characters are in this?
Dude,
like,
it depends what game you're talking about, because each game like introduced like new people. So, you know.
Oh yeah, because there's a million different games out there, right?
A ton of them, and like in each game, like you got new people that were like coming up and like changing and like evolving, and you know, there's always new characters are coming out. So
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat. Yeah, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, Raiden, Sonya Blade, Kano, Johnny Cage.
Okay, so Johnny Cage.
Was that at the end?
Okay, so Johnny Cage was it was a teaser at the end of this movie where I don't know why he wasn't in this, because Johnny Cage has been like a major player in Mortal Kombat from like game one. He is like a Hollywood actor character that was based on Jean-Claude Van Damme. He does like a split move where like he like drops into splits and like he like punches the groin of his opponent. Like that's one of his like special moves. And for whatever reason, they saved him for like a teaser for like the sequel to this, which I don't really understand, because he was such an incredible, like it's kind of like making a Justice League movie and not having Superman, and then saying, hey, but in the next movie we might have Superman. Like, no.
Yeah, like little. I guess that's why in the end, like, yes, you know,
they show the poster.
You've made it this far. I've already ruined the movie, and so has Drew ruined this movie for you. But in the end, he's like, I'm going to Hollywood, and like, I didn't really understand that. And then they even zoomed in on that poster for Johnny Cage, and I was like, wait, Johnny Cage is a character.
Yeah.
But I still didn't really like. I know they left it open for another movie, but
yeah,
there's like an assload of characters that I'm just going through. Like, dude, just like probably 30, easy.
I will say too that I didn't like. They fought that reptile creature, and I didn't like that they made him like in like Godzilla kind of form. I wish they would have.
Oh, that was like he was like going invisible.
Yeah, I wish. Well, he can also appear as like a green ninja. Like at least that's how he was in like the first movie in 1995. And I would have preferred to see Reptile fight like as a green ninja instead of like a human size Godzilla. That was kind of weird. I thought.
Yeah, it was I didn't know. See, and I didn't know. Like, so that lizard monster that was beating up Kano.
Yeah.
And Sonya, that was a character, right?
Yep.
Yeah. See, and I feel like that was just like a lizard monster.
Yeah.
That came from the realm, but they never really said that, like, hey, so go fight these. You know, like there was never any like. I mean, I guess it's a lizard. How do you talk to a freaking lizard? But
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was. I just thought it was some goddamn monster. So
let's just kind of sum this up. So
yeah,
I will say I have a love-hate relationship. There's kind of 50% of me like loved it, 50% of me hated it, and that's where I'm gonna stand. You know, like if I had to give like a letter grade, I give it like a C plus. But like I
Okay.
said, I couldn't stop watching it. Like I was watching, I was like, I didn't ever want to shut it off. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I was like, damn it, like I want to learn more about these characters. Like, and maybe that'll happen like in the next movie. Like maybe this is kind of like an intro to it, which would be awesome. So
That's what I'm hoping to. I mean, we watched it. Me and my wife started watching it last night, and we got through like 3/4 of it, and then she wanted to go to bed, so then we paused it and we finished it
yeah.
today. And like I was like really expecting that she was going to be like, that sucked, and she was like, it was better than I thought. She was like,
Yeah.
oh, I think she went in with it thinking it was going to be terrible.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, it was better than I thought. And I'm kind of in the same boat as you. Like, yes, I enjoyed it. Like, it was good. Just don't go into it thinking that you're going to
See Shakespeare.
You know, yeah, exactly. So,
yeah.
But if you're watching this podcast, please, I hope to God that you've already seen the movie.
Yeah.
So maybe you should just leave a comment below.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think. Let us know your opinions, what you loved. Maybe we're being too harsh. I don't know. Just, give us a little insight on your thoughts. So
yeah.
That's
thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for putting up with our opinion. But that's where we're at. We like to hear where you're at, and oh Jesus, I guess we'll catch you next time.
Later.
Later.
All right, that's our show. Thanks for watching Stay at Home Dads.
You know the drill, guys. Blah blah blah. Hit that like button. Subscribe.
We'll catch you on the flip side.